Hi everyone, I'm Sam from Golf Save My Life, and this is 9 Holes, 9 Questions. On this show, we treat 9 questions like 9 holes and use them to walk through someone's story in golf, where they came from, where their game is now, and how the sport fits into their life and mental health. We split the round into 3 parts: holes 1 through 3, where we focus on your golfing origins; holes 4 through 6, where's your game right now and the grind we're all working on; holes 7 through 9, we focus on mindset, pressures, and life off of the course. If you love honest conversations about golf, blow-up holes, breakthroughs, and the way this game for both tests you and save you, you're in the right place. Let's head off to the first tee. This is 9 Holes, 9 Questions. Welcome back to episode 6 of 9 Holes, 9 Questions. This week we're joined by Andy, or as you may know him, Stuck in the Sand Trap. How are you, Andy?
Yeah, good, thanks, Sam. Pleased to talk to you. Been looking forward to this. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, no, I'm doing well, thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to getting you on. If you wouldn't mind, obviously I know what Stuck in the Sand Trap's been about, having attended one of your days, but if you could just share with everyone what the purpose of the program is and what you're looking to do.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, Stuck in the Sand Trap is a name I come up with the help of a little bit of ChatGPT as well, I won't lie. But yeah, kind of take myself back to the last summer, so summer of 2025. I had quit my job, my professional job, was in a bit of a bad place, if I'm being honest, just mentally, suffering a lot with anxiety. The job that I'd just left was made me pretty ill in quite a quick amount of time. So I actually quit that without another job to go to. And yeah, I've become a dad twice in the last nearly 5 years. My eldest will be 5 in September this year. I'd got a 1.5-year-old at the time, just over a 1-year-old, and changing jobs in my career to something that it just didn't work out. And then I lost my mum. Well, it'd been just over 2 years. It'll be 3 years this summer. And yeah, I just wasn't in a great place. A lot of obviously it'd been a roller coaster few years leading up to that point, and it culminated into this. I think it culminated into this situation of me. The job was a huge factor in where I was, but there's all those other things I've just mentioned had wrapped into that as well. And so yeah, I had some spare time on my hands, and I was going to. I'm a member of a golf club, West Kent Golf Club, where we had the first event. So I found myself obviously taking myself up there, playing a little bit more in this time off that I was unemployed at the time, and obviously other members. So I was just rolling up during the week, playing a bit, had a few holes and stuff like that. Just using golf as a bit of an outlet to feel better, as we all do. I'm sure lots of your other guests have done as well and mentioned. And I thought, look, I want to just give this a go. I get such benefit from it. I feel there's lots of other people in my similar experiencing the similar sort of things. And a big thing that I was experiencing was this feeling of being stuck, which is where that stuck in the sand trap kind of name came from. Because I kind of just felt, wow, like what is happening in my life? I felt like where am I going to career wise? What's kind of next? I felt like looking back now, I can see that this kind of bad job of what I was in is kind of making me kind of question everything. And some of which I'm still questioning today, but I had this overwhelming feeling of, God, I just feel completely stuck in life. Like, where am I going to? I feel like I've got everything. I've got my daughters, I've got my wife, I've got my house, but actually just what's missing. And like a lot of it, you can link back to kind of what I'd experienced over the last few years. Yeah, I think becoming a parent, that was a big part of it. And you lose a sense of your identity and freedom, and your life changes beyond recognition.
More than you can prepare for, really, isn't it?
Exactly. And just there's no amount of reading or prepare, like you just cannot be prepared for it. And I just thought there's got a bit, like my wife does a little bit as well in the kind of the postnatal space, helping like new parents and particularly mums who may be struggling mentally with like postnatal depression and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm sure there's a need for blokes and dads alike to kind of maybe don't want to go to speak to a counsellor or don't want to go to a new dads group or anything like that, but could use golf as a vehicle. So that's where it stemmed from. So obviously we had that first golf day at West Kent at the end of September. But then it quickly became apparent, which is that kind of all the guests that came on the first day, like all the feedback I was getting was like, there's a real gap for casual golfers, similar age to you and I, maybe going through similar things, new parent, might be questioning their career choices or wanting to pivot. Don't get to play golf very often and actually just lacking that community, which is where this like Sucking and Sound Trip is really shaping towards is giving men a space to connect with others or through the game of golf. Yeah, it started more as I mentioned around that because I'm like maybe if you've just become a new dad or you're really struggling and depressed, and actually that we welcome anyone to come. I think everyone who has come has um, felt that it's a really good thing to do and it's improved them. They've left happier, which is great. So yeah, that's where it was born from. But as it grows and it gets more momentum, I feel it's shaping more into like this supportive community, no matter what aspect you are at or stage in life you're at. Obviously, we've been raising funds for men's mental health charities, which is great. So yeah, it's just a really nice kind of community to be a part of. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about where it stemmed from and how it started and where we're at.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Andy. So, hole one. So, what's your first real memories of golf? Take me back.
Yeah, and obviously I've seen these questions up front, so it's allowed me a little bit of time to have a think about it, which is handy because want to be able to give some thorough answers, and it's really cool to kind of read these and actually jog my memory a little bit. So I prepared
Yeah,
a little bit in terms of in my head, just haven't wrote anything down or anything, but really made me think, which has been quite cool. I think looking back, there was this real kind of like prominent memory when I think I was age of 7. We were up in Scotland holidaying as a family. I think it's through the summer holidays or a half term or something like that. It was definitely during school holidays. On my mum's side of the family, we got some distant relatives who lived up in Scotland or still do. Got roots up there. Couldn't tell you kind of where. They're fairly near to Edinburgh. I'll always just remember there's like this distinct memory of going to this drop. Like they took us, the family who was like this second or third cousins of ours, like took us to this like local municipal golf course. And my dad had always encouraged us took us to pitch and putt and putting and stuff like that.
yeah,
But I think that was the real turning point. It was like I just fell in love with it up there. I just remember Scotland just being golf course after golf course on this holiday. I don't know if other people or other listeners used to do this, but I just, as a 7-year-old as well, I had this weird thing of like being fixated on the Argos catalogue.
yeah,
And I remember that holiday, I must have just got gripped on this golf idea. And I remember just circling and wanting and telling my parents I wanted this like junior set of golf clubs in this Argos catalogue, which were, I don't know, they're probably like 49. I think they were like 50 quid at the time. Probably
yeah, yeah,
hell of a lot of money at the time, going back nearly 30 years. But I'll always remember that it's that holiday, and I circled these golf, and I just like was so persistent, and I think my parents ended up getting me this set of golf clubs in the end when we got back to London. But yeah, that is the where I can real link back.
yeah,
After that, my dad was brilliant. To be fair, and maybe a few months ago when I was feeling a bit low and golf really like helps lean on me, get me feeling better. I said to my dad, like, thanks for like getting me into it because if he hadn't have taken us, my dad played golf. He was like, he'll openly say he's absolutely terrible, but he always took us. We'd always go to local pitch and putts and like the 9-hole courses, like your council 9-hole courses and stuff like that. That's where
yeah.
I really kind of begun my kind of journey in golf. So yeah, it was nice to reminisce on that.
Yeah, lovely. It must be quite nice as a child teen. I mean, like golf in Scotland is what I call proper golf. And it's quite different to, I mean, we live in a similar part of the country and
Yeah.
the little local pitch and putt and municipal courses are a sight to behold in some of them. So then to go up there, this great big open driving ranges and doing it properly must
Oh
be
no.
quite an eye opener.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, up there, we like talking about dad. Like we went up. I remember we went up there for a golf holiday again in one of the half terms. I think I was in like year 10 or 11 at the time. My dad took me, my mate, my brother up, and like we played some unbelievable courses, and they're like just your public courses,
Yeah,
15 quid a round. You wouldn't know. You'd be paying 60, 70 odd quid down here for it. It's just crazy. It's
yeah,
great. Unbelievable place for golf.
yeah. I think we're very jealous. All right, thanks, Andy. Moving nicely into hole two. So moving forward, where's your game at now? Do you hold a handicap?
I do, yeah. My game's in actually a really good spot. I don't know
Okay.
where this has come, how or why I've found this form, to be honest. So my handicap is 3.9 at the moment.
Oh wow.
And I, I, I mean, I always feel that my game gets a little bit better in the winter. I don't know if other guests have mentioned that, but I just feel courses become shorter, a bit easier,
Yeah.
greens are stickier, the fairways have less run, and therefore your ball goes into less dangerous areas or runoff areas. I do always find I start to score better in the winter, so like that I've seen my handicap come down in the last couple of months. I've hit two really good scores in my last two rounds. One at the last stuck in the sand trap day at Pedham. Actually, I shot one over, which was just like
Oh wow.
playing off a two, which was crazy. But I mean, it's open. It's an fairly easy track. But yeah, my game's in a good spot. I don't really know where this kind of little green patches purple patches come from, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Taking a runway, can we?
Yeah,
Let's pass
yeah.
that. So, in terms of playing off that sort of sub 5 handicap, does a good round still look single digits for you, or are you now keep aiming to keep shooting below your handicap?
No. I would a good round like a good round for me is like shooting handicap. That's like a very good round. I think. Oh yeah, I feel I've got like it feels like I've got a level. There's a level or one or over in me.
Yeah.
Maybe 50% of the time. Like I feel like that the confidence is there to produce that. And as evidence shows, I might do one of those every 6 to 8 rounds potentially, like a 2 or 3 over. But no, like I'm happy if I've walked off playing my handicap. Like it's been a very good round. Yeah, that's kind of how that feels at the moment. But I'll always leave my home court if I've walked off single figures. Like it's been an okay day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good track round there as well, isn't it, West Kent? So walking off there in single digits is pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's tight, it's narrow, it's not the longest, but you've got to be straight. You can't just throw it around everywhere.
No, lovely stuff, mate. Right, moving on to hole 3. So the turning point. So was there a particular moment or person or part of your golf journey where you thought, I'm going to take this a little bit more seriously? Or
I wouldn't say seriously. I would probably link it back to the time I joined the kind of the moment in time I joined West Kent. Actually, so I've been a member there maybe 5 years or so. Actually, link it back to the house I'm chatting to you in now. We've lived here for about 6 years, and we plan to stay here a long time. So when we moved to this area, I'm about 10-15 minute drive from West Kent Golf Club. I was 29, 30 when we moved here, and I've been a member. Hadn't really been a member anywhere since I was about 20, like early 20s. There was a group of us who used to be members at Elson Warren, near where me and my friends used to live as like younger adults. And we were members there for a couple of years, like early 20s. Used to play all the time. And then obviously you get a bit older, you're always out drinking, boozing, the usual stuff.
distracted,
Yeah, distracted, trying to pull girls unsuccessfully. And yeah, the golf membership just fell by the wayside, and it was just kind of played ad hoc with friends. A few friends kind of gave it up.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, like my two brothers are really keen, like avid golfers. So like I'd play maybe 6 to 12 times a year, maybe through my mid-20s. And then when I moved to this home, I didn't have we hadn't had any of our children at that stage, and I just thought, I love golf. Like this is the time. Like I'm going to be around this area for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's go and form a membership and be part of a club. I think that was the moment I think golf changed for me, because I joined that golf club. I didn't know anyone. I just joined. I just got a nice feeling about it when I went up there and kind of like jumped into the deep end. Really, fucking hell, literally know no one here. Where do I go from here? And just joined. Just started kind of entering competition, entering like the monthly medals, stayed for comps on my own, and the knockout, like the summer knockout competitions that run at kind of member clubs, and started to get to know folk. And yeah, for my golfing like kind of like enjoyment and social, like it's been the best thing I've ever done. Because you can always get a game. That's the best thing about being a member is. And that's what's great about this like Instagram community as well, because I can see already people like leaning on that, which is what was great. Seeing people like meet up after the Stuck in the Sand Trap events is,
Yeah.
and you get that a little bit with being a member, is you meet all these people from all sorts of backgrounds, and you just got this one commonality, which is like you playing golf together. So no, I think that's been the one kind of thing I can like. That's like when it started, like when it turned, when it was like actually I've made that commitment.
Yeah.
Becoming a member, and like it's something now I can enjoy a lot more regular.
Yeah. Yeah. You found like a little community almost.
Absolutely. I found my crew up there, and there's we have a really good thing on it. Like we have a summer swindle every week. So we have a like Wednesday's summer league. I hope my employers are not listening to this, but we always start about 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, and it runs through the whole summer. Runs through the whole like. It's about sometimes there's like 20 old blokes on a Wednesday afternoon playing. It's brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really good. And then it's really good. Met some fantastic people, some really good mates of mine now through that. So yeah, it's really good.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's nice to hear that it can sort of feel like you say, you can just wander up and get a game, and it's sort of quite a great equaliser, isn't it? Joining the club, because you can be playing with no idea who they are or what they do, but you've got this one common interest, and it's you're just out there enjoying it in the same manner, no matter who you are.
100%.
Fantastic. Right, so on to hole 4, bag and the brain. So if we had your golf bag in front of us right now, Andy, what's the one club or one bit of tech that you can't live without?
I think my yard something to help me with the yardages. I think I was a late adapter to this, Sam, if I'm being honest. I think looking back, I probably only started to like have something that told me how far I was away from the green till I think 6-7 years ago. Like, I used to play, and I used to just play to what that looks like, what that feels like, or looking at going by the 150 stake to the green, and just like trying to gauge my clubs from there. So yeah, no, I couldn't go by now without having a yardage next to me. And then I haven't got any real affection to a certain club like in my bag. Like I've got a bit of a weird connection. I always have to play with my same like, pitch mark repair and and ball marker. Like those two things are like a non-negotiable. Like I don't feel as comfortable if I wouldn't have those two same things in my pocket.
Like a lucky mascot almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say lucky, just I just feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. You feel them in your pocket. Like, it just feels, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, yeah, just remember, like it just feels like connected to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, completely get that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say those things really. Yeah.
Going back to the yardages bit. So what sort of gear do you use at the moment? Are you a laser, or are you a watch kind of guy, or GPS on your phone? Or
no, I've never used a laser, and I've never, unless my other device. I've had this. I've got. I think I was at some golf day at an old company. Would have been 8-9 years ago when I first got this thing, and we all got every guest of the day. It's quite a kind of decent golf day actually. Everyone got like a Garmin, a GPS watch, like a GPS
fantastic.
watch, and I mean it's like one of the original. Like, it's a really old model, but it still does the job. And I just have it in my bag, like attached to my bag. If I've ever forgotten to charge that, then I have to revert to downloading like one of those shop Hole 19 things or whatever on your phone.
Yeah.
But no, I deliberately. I mean, part of me going to golf is to switch off and get off my phone. So like the last thing I want to be doing is like whacking my phone out and checking yardages. So yeah, no, I've never used a laser thing. So yeah, I have a watch, or if it's in the summer, I've got a GPS trolley, which is quite nice. It's got the yardages on there. So it's not like super. It's just telling me how much is to the middle, the front, or the back.
Yeah,
I'll go for that.
That's all you need, though, isn't it? Really, like I think before, like I say, you're looking around for a 150 stake somewhere, and then you're trying to guess, what sort of club's going to get you anywhere near.
Yeah.
And if there's no stakes about it, if you're playing a bit of rough and ready course, sometimes it's not that they've been ripped out and thrown to the side somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's just how good's your eye, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely stuff, mate. Okay, on to hole 5. So practice first, real life. If we say you're working on your game, what's your sort of routine for that, Andy?
I'll be honest, I don't. It sounds mad, if considering like what I've just said. My handicap is, and people will be like, might be thinking, what the fuck, like, how the hell? But I haven't worked on my game in a number of years. Just timing with kids and everything like that. What working on my game looks like. I'm probably trying to say implement is the wrong word. I'm trying to remember one or two feelings and things in my swing every time I play around. So when I joined West Kent, I was having some lessons with a pro up there. That's probably like, I don't know, half a dozen lessons. I made some real improvements then. And then maybe 3 years ago, I'd done some skillist lessons with a coach called Alex Clapp online over video. Probably only had like 2 or 3 of them, these video consultation things, where he'd be watching my swing, or I'd film my swing and send it to him and he'd send the analysis back. He told me 2 different things. One was my grip and my elbow. One might not, I can't remember. One was either my grip or my elbow position. And honestly, like 3 years later, I'm still like reminding myself of that one tip. Like, I guess when I say I'm working on my game, like recently in the last 6 months, I've been trying to just have this feeling of like getting to the top and then pushing off my left. I'm right-handed, just like pushing into my lead side. And I've seen huge improvement in just the ball flight and the impact. So yeah, I honestly say, like, working on my game for me looks like trying to just remember some feelings in when I'm out playing a round, either a social round or in a medal or stable competition at the court at my club. Is just trying to think in the moment. Yeah, that until it becomes ingrained, I've always got that reminder. So I'm only ever, as I say, I'm working on this kind of bump in the downswing in a minute. And I'll probably be reminding myself to do that for the next year, and that'll be the only thing I kind of feel that I work on at that time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's gone.
Skillist and the other online coaching apps have been pretty game changing, haven't they? Really, same as you. I found an online coach who he is fairly local, but it's just being able to have the responses in your pocket while you're at the range or somewhere like that, rather than thinking, well, what was that he told me 3 months ago, or like I said, a couple of years or whatever else. It's just handy to have those drills there. I think it is good every now and again to go and check in with someone, but if you're having a monthly or bi-monthly or whatever lesson, then it's quite handy just to have a couple of little videos in your pocket that you can dig out every now and again.
It really is. I actually found myself on the Skillist app about 6 months ago, and I was like, and I rewatched the video with this video analysis that we'd done like 3 years ago, because it's still in there, it's still in my account, and I was like, oh god, I'd forgotten like one piece of it. So the next day able to go and re-implement it, if that made sense. And that Skillist was unbelievable, like, and that coach in particular that I had was, I couldn't fault it. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff, mate. Hole 6, blow up holes. Do you have a particular memory of a disaster hole, or is it a disaster round, or are there any painful memories you'd rather not talk about?
Yeah, I had to think about this when I saw the questions. This one was like going back to like my dad taking us away and golfing a lot. There was a particular trip. Again, it was on a half term. We were standing down in Somerset. It was me, my brother, his mate, and my old man, his 4-ball. And we were standing like on this campsite attached to this golf course down in Somerset. And basically the crux of it was we were going to play golf every, like, Monday to Friday, basically. It's weeks half. I think it's like April, like half term or something, February half term. I can't remember. I must have only been 12 or 13 at the time. But I just remember getting so angry this one particular round on this one particular hole, and like looking back now, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I just remember smashing my club against like this sandbag, and like the sandbag just being like busted for the rest of the week, like the legs out of place and everything like that. So yeah, that lives in the memory. And I was known to wrap another club around a tree, I think, when in my young 20s. But honestly, I wouldn't kind of dream about doing any sort of that stuff these days.
No.
Brush it off. I think the worst you'll get out of me these days is like a bit of swearing, calling myself. I've got a little bit of calling myself like, I see you next Tuesday in my locker if I miss a putt. So yeah, if people playing with me at my club will probably, there's a few kind of expletives comes out at certain times, but I always find it's always on the putting green. I rarely get, if I hit a bad drive or a topper shot on the fairway, it's just right, move on
Yeah.
and try and play the next one. If I miss a putt, that's where I'm always where a little bit of frustration comes out these days. And I think it's probably because it's your last go in that hole, and it feels like
It's it's your last chance to save the hole, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
if you're off, if you slice it right or whatever, you can recover from there, can't
yeah.
you? But once you're on that putting green, that's what it all builds up to, and it's that hole's written off whether you putt it or not.
That's it. That's it. I always find, as I say, like you won't find me swearing at myself much during the round. If it's like, it'll only be on a green where I'll let out a bit of an expletive against myself. Yeah, no, the days of smashing clubs into my bags and trees is way gone, thankfully. Yeah,
I'm, I'm sure the wallet thanks you for that one with price of
yeah,
clubs these days.
yeah.
Good stuff, mate. Okay, moving on to, so the final three holes are sort of taken away from the course a little bit and looking a bit more at your life. So hole 7 and life off the course. So away from golf, how does life look for you right now, whether it's work or family or other hobbies or?
Yeah, life for me right now is, if I was to sum up, like, I'm in a really good spot.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you, mate. My head's in a really good place. I joined a company after being unemployed, like in the summer last year for a little period of time. I joined a company now, which I'm enjoying. Got a nice boss, flexibility. Yeah, like, so life for me is like day to day is good. I think if I was to look at it a bit more, like, where am I going? It's more of a case of like, I'm trying to still work on being you'll understand this. Like, you're trying to juggle and like be present for your kids.
Yeah.
Try and give them your like enough attention, and it's just that juggling act of like, I've got my, obviously my 9 to 5 career, and then I'm obviously trying to be like a good dad, socialize, get some form of like golfing and stuff like that. So I say like life is one big balancing act, which I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of people maybe suggested as well. It's just yeah, just trying to focus on what's important whilst trying to live a little as well.
Yeah. It's a tough balance to find, isn't it? And then trying to squeeze, a 4.5 hour round in at busy weekends
Yeah,
as well. It's never particularly easy, is it? And like I say, trying to give attention to young children as well, because you want to feel present in those moments, and it is hard when you find yourself having to drift off and look at emails for work or whatever
yeah.
when in time that you should be spending together. No, I completely get that. It's not the easiest of things to be doing.
No, absolutely agreed. And actually, like, a big part of me actually at the minute is also still trying to plan for plan for the future. Again, going back to kind of that stuck in the sand trap, like that, and the elements of that are still true in the fact that I'm trying to figure myself out a little bit more as to like what I want to do in the future. I've been in my career kind of for 15, 16 years. Still need to work out if this is what I want to continue to do, if it is what I wanted to do. Like, do I want to pivot into slightly different areas of where kind of my expertise is in? So yeah, there's lots of things always at play. But yeah, generally, like, life is good. A lot better placed than if you'd have asked me that same question like 4 or 5, 6 months ago.
No, that's good. I'm really pleased
Yeah,
to hear that, mate. Because I know, like, we spoke a lot when Stuck in the Sand Trap first came around, and
yeah,
it's it is really difficult, like especially when you're going through big shifts in your career as well as trying to be a dad and do all the normal things
yeah.
that you're expected to do in life. So to hear that you're in a good place, it's really good to hear. I'm really
Thank
pleased
you.
for you. Thank you.
Great.
Whole A, so pressure and mental health. So when you are going through a tough patch, Andy, whether it's on the course or in life, how do you tend to deal with those things?
Talking is huge for me. Like, my wife and I are, like, they've got like brilliant at kind of checking in on one another, making sure, not even making sure, just like understanding how we're doing, what's going on for us in that particular moment or that day. So I think and I've tried to kind of share some of this in like the days that we've held. It's just for me, and it doesn't work for everyone. Some people just want to be company or to be out.
Yeah,
For me, like, talking is the number one thing that helps. And I mean, if I can combine that with playing golf, then great. I mean, I look back at one of my really good mates that I met through being a member of West Kent. Like, him and I will go for a beer together now. Text him day to day on WhatsApp. And I met this guy from just playing in a knockout competition with him. I didn't know him from Adam. And now,
Yeah.
like 3-4 years later, we're really good mates. And often when I lost my mum, he was like, let's go and have a round of golf, or just I'm here whenever. So for me, when I do, or when I am struggling at all, is like I always kind of turn to people that want to listen, want to help, and haven't got kind of I guess they're not trying to fix me, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
that's a big thing, like just someone who will allow you to speak, allow you room to kind of feel yourself again. So yeah, that's kind of really important. But I mean, look, playing golf is huge. Like fresh air,
Mm.
exercise, getting out away from kind of the day to day for that 4 and a bit hours is massive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd just say for me, talking helps
Yeah.
a great deal. Yeah.
That's good to hear, because I think as men, we're probably, the stereotype is that we're probably not the most forthcoming with
Mm.
information, especially when we are probably going through difficult times. So do you think you've just always been someone who's happy to share like that, or do you think it's something that you've become more aware that it's better for your head to be more vocal about things?
Yeah, I don't think I've always been like it. I
No.
think in like the last 5-6 years, so I've become a lot better at it. Is like
Mm.
just recognizing how I'm feeling. Like, I just think it's come about naturally. I think having had to deal with kind of grief and loss,
Yeah.
kind of, there's been circumstances that have kind of forced my hand a little bit to be like, oh, what is this? I need to
Mm.
kind of open up and talk a bit more. And when I lost my mum, I had counselling on all these things. I'll happily share to anyone who willing to listen. Really,
Yeah. Yeah.
is like, I think like talking counselling was really helpful for me. Talking is like my number one anchor, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great to hear. Like I said, it can be a bit of a negative stereotype, and sometimes I'm terrible for talking, and often gets me in more trouble than it
Yeah,
it needs to, because I'm not the biggest of sharers. It's the old saying, isn't it? A problem shared is a problem halved. And
yeah,
if you are going through those significant life events, especially like being able to share stuff with your wife, and like I said, she's become a pretty good at being able to read when you do
yeah,
just need to have those chats. It's nice that you can both have those conversations.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic, mate. Okay, right. Well, on to the last hole. So the final putt. So if we fast forward a few years and imagine golf and life and stuck in a sand trap has gone as we all want it to,
Yeah.
how does that picture look for you?
I think golf wise, I'd love to be, say, here in 4 or 5 years, saying I'm playing regularly once a week, twice a week. Like that's, if I can get some ambitions that I've got in my career to a place where I want them to be, then I'd love to be able to kind of play more regularly. I think stuck in the sand trap, like I don't know the end goal of it, Sam, if I'm being honest. I think shared this with a few people who've asked, and they're like, oh, what's the and honestly, at the moment, I'm just taking it from like event to event to see.
Yeah.
I think it's got real promise to be something really, really special. What I mean by that is like just the feedback that we've had from both events, the kind of the type of person that has attended the events, how they've left the events feeling. I just feel the potential is huge for it.
Mm.
Like I've often sat sometimes and thought, wow, this like you could see this brand and this purpose being regional or across the UK, different sort of events, maybe linked to various charities or
Yeah.
so. Yeah, there's big ambitions. There's big ambitions and potential there. It's all about resource and timing and how much energy I can give to it in my spare time because it's
Yeah.
no. I think professionally, golf for me, like in my link to kind of my working career and my day to day and my social life, like I'd love to kind of just still be a member at West Kent if time and money allows. Hopefully it does, and I'll be playing a little bit more regularly than I am now. But yeah, stuck in the sand trap. Yeah, I guess like watch this space really. Like I'd love to keep building it and growing it. I'd love to start getting some more content on there around kind of the angle I'm feeling I want to take it towards is like really kind of like trying to cement the angle of like the benefits of golf and the benefits of community in the content. Like, I'm terrible for content on there. Like at the moment, like I'll share stuff about upcoming events and on the day events, but between this kind of lull period between that last event and potentially organising another, I'm conscious that I'm not posting or sharing stories on there. I might be commenting on liking some people's stories, or liking their photos and reels and stuff like that. Yeah, just time and
Yeah.
to get on there and actually get some meaningful content. But I guess if you were to ask me if time was not an issue or what I wanted to do day to day with the account and the brand, I'd say I really want to grow it into that kind of that clubhouse for kind of what the wellness kind of come and join our community is going to make you feel X, Y, Z. You're going to get X, Y, Z from it.
Yeah.
And like sharing that story day to day around the benefits of golf, because I think we all know it, but there's accounts on there, yours to like as an example. I just want to showcase like the value I feel in community.
Yeah.
And I just think in real life events and stuff, it's just going to get even bigger in the future as we kind of are more and more driven and by AI and technology in our day to day. We as humans are going to be craving more and more connection, and I think that community aspect to golf will be huge, even more than it is today in real life. So, yeah, I think it's got really huge potential. I just couldn't tell you what it's going to look like in 3 or 5 years. It's kind of just some ideas that are coming into my head right now.
It's difficult, isn't it? Like I attended the first event, sadly couldn't make the second event, but you could tell online there was a significant growth in going from event 1 to 2. So
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes, like event 3 and 4 and beyond. Because like I say, I think it is that community piece around it, and it's almost like you're making your own golf clubhouse for like-minded people.
yeah.
And I think I'm just really excited to see where it goes, and I hope it all works out for you, mate. I really do.
No, thank you. Thanks for being part of it, and look forward to having you at the next one. And thanks for having me on here.
No, that's all right, mate. Thank you. If you can tell everyone where they can find you online, that would be great. And I'll tag you in the description just in case anyone has any trouble. But yeah, if you could throw out your handles.
Yeah, absolutely. Just Instagram really at the moment. It's at Stuck in the Soundtrack. So nice and simple, just as we're called. Yeah, come and find us on there. As I just said, there's not much activity just now, but hopefully that'll change in the near future. But yeah, join along. We'll be sharing more on upcoming events, hopefully in the next few weeks. Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks, Andy. I really appreciate you taking the time and coming on, and wish you all the best for the future, mate.
Cheers, Sam. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
That was another round of 9 holes, 9 questions. Huge thanks for listening. I hope their story in golf and everything behind it gave you something to think about in your own game and your own life. If you enjoyed this episode, it really helps if you follow the podcast, leave a rating or review, and share it with a golfer who you might feel will get something from it. You can find me over on social media as Golf Saved My Life. Come say hi, tell me your favourite hole from this episode, or let me know who you'd like to hear on the show next time round. I'm Sam, this is 9 holes, 9 questions, and I'll see you on the next tee.